set it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs to win. Whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall. That's when the season start. Bucs come in 40 hard. Win after win, ripping the division apart. Panthers, they pussycats. Falcons got bird flu. Take the Ravens and Dolphins and open up a zoo. Cause one thing's for sure, better than the Bucs, they show lane. No, and every day in Tampa Bay, we say fuck the Saints. We in Tampa Bay, baby. 813 going crazy. Tampa, boy. This Bucs podcast be the greatest. Loose cannons blasting on them haters. And we in Tampa Bay, baby. Tell them where you from. 813 going crazy. Yeah. This Bucs podcast be the greatest.
What is up, Bucs Nation? It is Monday, August 18th, getting closer, 2025, and you are watching the Loose Cannons podcast, where you can also, by the way, you can get more of us. Stank. You know, you can have, like, if there's people out there who apparently don't get enough of us, and the place to do that is loosecannonslive.com. You can watch every episode in our entire amazing, glorious existence, or you can even listen to it. And introducing a new feature this year, you can leave us voicemails directly from your phone on our website with a click of a fucking button at halftime, after a drive in the first quarter, or after the game. And we will get to them with something that we're going to call Fan Fridays, which is not what you think it is. But we will be getting to your voicemails on a weekly basis moving forward when the season kicks off. I'm a host. I'm joined by my co-host. My God, I don't know what to call you anymore.
What just
my
happened?
white. I'm joined by my white stank bastard, and intern Izzy is in the house as the intern tonight. And if you guys haven't noticed, we have a poll up already, and the poll asks: will Sammer finally fire someone tonight live on air? And currently in the lead is intern Izzy's lazy eye. In the lead. So you guys are going to decide what happens as it relates to the poll and if it actually does come to fruition. Stanker, preseason
That's
week
when
2.
you should have. That's when you should have panned to insert intern Izzy's face and zoomed in right there
to his lazy eye.
Full screen. Let's go full screen to intern Izzy now.
Do you guys want to see that glorious eye gone by the end of this show? Let me know in the poll. That's where it's going to get decided. I don't even know which eye is the lazy eye because it seems to change.
It's the right eye.
He had to think about it. See that, Stank? Stank, preseason week 2 in the books for the Bucs. They were up in Pittsburgh where they took a shit on Zach from West Virginia, who was in attendance wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers Fraser jersey, okay? An absolute disgrace to the Buccaneers fan base. And you know what? Honestly, a disappointment to me as I kind of consider myself a mentor of his, right? Because I've taught him the ways of jersey collecting. And I can't believe he would go to the Bucs Steelers game and wear Steelers jersey and apparel. It's unbelievable. But nonetheless, preseason week 2 in the books, Stank. The Bucs come away with a win, which we don't really care too much about. It is preseason. I prefer they lose the games, but they are 2-0 in the preseason. And listen, we went from a great week for one Kyle Trask to
The worst
a great week
ever had on the football field, honestly.
A great week for Teddy Bridgewater.
There's no sugarcoating it. The worst quarter where he didn't even they took him out. They were like, nobody's talking about how he got benched in a preseason game.
In the second quarter of a preseason game, right?
He did, bro. Right. There's no way possible that they would plan on only playing him like barely a quarter. Okay. There's no way. They benched him because he deserved to be benched. And that's saying something. How do you go from looking magical to just looking like you don't belong in the NFL? I think Teddy fucking Two Gloves got to him, bro. Teddy Two Gloves came out and
you think maybe he had a spoiled pizza delivered to his room the night before in the hotel. Do you think there's some Michael Jordan type shit going on there when
I
Michael
don't
Jordan
know.
had the flu game?
I just didn't see it coming, honestly. I tweeted before the game, Trask, better than Teddy Two Gloves. I took a L. This has been a real big L taking week for Loose Cannons podcast.
Yeah, we're not doing good right now. What's the
starting
opposite of a
with-
heater? What's the opposite of a heater?
I don't know.
We're on a cold streak right now.
Yeah,
We're in a
exactly.
freezing cold streak.
You're in a cold plunge right now is what you're doing.
Yep, pretty
it's the
much.
opposite of a heater. We're losing. So you know what? That's part of life, man. I don't know if you guys know that, but losing, it teaches you something about yourself. Here,
You
come
had
in
to
here,
fucking
real
win.
close. Yeah, exactly. Come in real close. All right. You got to embrace it. You got to embrace the pain of losing in order to become a winner. And that's what we're here to do. We're not just here to talk about Buccaneers football. We're here to make you a better person. If that's even possible, because I know we have a big, huge contingency of absolute pieces of shit that watch this show. So you all, maybe all of you guys are here for a reason. And that being said, yeah, Kyle Trask, I don't know what to say, sir. I can't defend it. You were so bad. The bots right now are trying to take over the show.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man.
I'm working on the bots right now. Give me a second, guys.
Talking about bad, and I don't want to necessarily transition to this because I don't feel he had a bad night, but Tez Johnson had an up and down night, right? A Johnson that we're big fans of. Slender Johnson, a little bit smaller than we usually would like, but he started off the night with a fucking bang, right?
It wasn't an up and down night. It was a really up night with one major down.
He had a couple downs. He had one catch he missed. It kind of evened out. He had two bad plays. He had two really great plays. That punt return, one more cut to the outside, guy's housing it, right? That was amazing to see. Best punt return we have seen in any game in probably 10 years at this point. Maybe 10 plus years. I don't know. And that's even if it's just preseason, I was like, oh man, this is going to be amazing to see. And then he follows it up with that skirt. He shook two guys out of their shoes, put them on skates. Okay, those guys are going to have that amazing play to get the first down. But then he had a drop. And then he had the muffed punt, bad decision, a lot of teachable, coachable moments in there, Stank. So I'm not sad or down on the guy. I'm kind of actually glad he had some moments like that because sometimes you need your ego checked. You need that humility cashed in a little bit sometimes, and that's important. And for him to realize, hey, this ain't as easy as I made it look those first two times I touched the ball. But pretty good night otherwise for the wide receiving core. But before we forget, obviously we start off the night with the quarterback talk. Let's give Teddy Bridgewater his flowers. Before the game, I was not happy that they were starting him. It had nothing to do with how well he could possibly play. I just wasn't a big fan of seeing a quarterback who just gotten signed, pretty rusty in my opinion, throwing, possible hospital balls to my wide receiver. And I ended up jinxing it because right then and there, he threw a ball that was pretty high, pretty dangerous. J-Mac somehow comes down with it. He ends up, it looks like it's all precautionary. He's going to be good. He's going to be ready to go. He's going to be okay, hopefully. But other than that, Stank, he fucking had a hell of a night. He played pretty damn well. Looked like a veteran quarterback, guy who's been in the league, and not necessarily in this offense, but he's been in the league. He understood what he was doing. He got out of pressure a couple of times. And is it, I mean, we really talking about a quarterback two battle now?
Yeah, we are. We absolutely are. I think we keep three quarterbacks regardless, so it's a moot point. Hopefully Baker never has to come out, so we don't even have to ever go down that road. But yes, right now, I think Kyle has to bounce back and show that, he's not just going to let some guy waltz in here with 2 weeks experience and take his job. You know what? But that's this locker room right here. Baker walked onto a team and played that night, right? So if you think about it from that angle, like, Kyle, bro, you got to get your shit together because you got quarterbacks who are ready at any, at the drop of a hat to come in here and perform. And you shit the bed, sir. You did. I can't defend you. All right.
Here's the thing, Stank.
You called me to apologize that night. I didn't answer. I don't want to hear it.
So here's the thing. So there's this, do you keep the guy who knows the system and he's been here for 4 years, 3 in the system? Or do you go with the guy who's actually played meaningful minutes and had time on the field, years of experience, and he may not, have all the intangibles that a Kyle Trask might have, or the ability to, throw the ball as deep or maybe even as hard. He's got the experience. So do you take that, or do you take the guy who's been here? Do you take the guy that kind of has seen all, the what you could expect kitchen sink wise getting thrown at him? That's a question. We're going to find out. And, in limited practice time, he did look good, man. He did look good. And so if you think about it, you could bring in a veteran guy and be like, you're throwing to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Emeka Ibuka, Jalen McMillan, Tez Johnson. You got Bucky, you got Rashad, you got Cade Otton. You got all these weapons, and you could just be an average veteran quarterback, and you're probably going to do well. So it does speak volumes that they even thought about this with Kyle Trask in the building. So I do agree with you. I think Kyle Trask really does need to watch his ass.
Well, remember, Jason is a big fan of Teddy, right? He even came out this week and said he was what's behind door number 2. I think we all knew that. I think he said it before, but just to remind everybody, that was who we were going to sign if Tom decided to go somewhere else. We would have had, Teddy Two Gloves take us to the Super Bowl and win it at home. And it doesn't matter who we had in there, honestly. We give all the credit to that guy, but Teddy would have taken us in the exact same experience. He probably might have been better, honestly, if we're going to have that discussion, which I don't think we are. Can somebody remind me, did we keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster last year, or do we only have 2?
We had 3, but I think they let Wolford go later on.
Yeah, but I think they have that designation where there's a game day emergency quarterback, but I don't know if it doesn't actually count against a 53. There's a whole thing there. And so if I'm going to guess, I would still think Kyle is the QB2, but they somehow keep Teddy Bridgewater as that emergency practice squad guy. I think if he's on the 53-man roster, he also counts against the cap, which I don't think they want him to, or he's guaranteed money or something like that. I can't remember who tweeted something like that earlier on in the preseason. But it's good to have a guy like that. Let's say something happened to Baker, knock on wood. You kind of feel like you'd lean towards the dude who's seen those bullets and has been out there as opposed to the guy who maybe hasn't. And I do like the ability to bring in a guy who can at least move a little bit better than Kyle, because Baker does move and he does save the offensive line at times. And, the offensive line, although it was preseason, obviously, not a lot of game planning. They didn't move them around too much in terms of schematic stuff. So I don't know how they look a little shaky. But I think that you would lean towards Teddy Bridgewater in that scenario if something happened to Baker.
Yeah. I also read somewhere or heard somebody say, I can't remember where I heard it, but that it's likely Teddy gets cut and then re-signed like at week 1, just because of his roster designation and how what it means, because he's a veteran, guaranteed money and all this shit. So don't be surprised if that's the case. And it's probably something, agreed to before it happens with Jason and his agent. Cause I don't see Teddy going anywhere else. He's a Florida guy. He's on the, retired essentially. And now he has this opportunity land in his lap where he can get behind the wheel of a fucking F1 race car that's ready to win, versus, having to do this again. So I think it's mutually beneficial that he plays ball with his team and does what's right. And I don't see them getting rid of Kyle. We can joke all we want, but they've invested a lot in the kid. He looked good last week, looked terrible this week behind a really bad line. And just, I don't know, it just devolved into what everybody claims he is, which I think he's better than that, honestly.
So, Audrew08999 super chat. Thank you so much. He writes, Kyle deserved those first team reps. He has never had that chance. He would have looked like a modern day Peyton Manning. Had he been with the ones, he had no time to throw the ball with that terrible O-line. I will say he had no time to throw the ball, but to tell me that Kyle deserved anything would tell me that he's out there on a practice field week in and week out for how many years now, and nobody's watching him. Because if you deserve anything, coaches and GMs just aren't in the business of not trying to win with any way, with anybody they have available to them. The fact that he hasn't gotten those opportunities speaks to what they see in the kid on their own. Now, not to say that somebody else doesn't look at him and say, oh, there's untapped potential there. Like if he were to be cut, if he wasn't Dave Canales' first, phone call. But I don't think anybody deserves anything. I think you earn things on the practice field. You earn things in team meetings. You earn things in the huddle and showcasing how your teammates react and respond to you. So while I understand sentiment, he doesn't deserve shit. If you're not getting something, you have not earned it in the NFL. That's just how it works. There's no politics going on in this locker room. Baker obviously won that job when he won that job, but they re-signed him because he knows the system. And that's really what kind of worked in his favor to be here still at this point. He knows the system. They feel like he's a capable backup if something were to happen. And then at some point, something changed. And they said, maybe we have a chance to bring in a vet. And that's where the Teddy Bridgewater enters the equation. So we'll see how that all plays out.
You need another arm, and then the whole weird shit that happened with Teddy and coaching and the money scandal. I think it just was like kind of the perfect storm because
lined up.
the guy that they intended to be the fourth arm in the rotation ended up getting hurt and didn't get a chance to play. So Teddy came in kind of in a one of those weird coincidences, and you never know, that could have been fortuitous for us. Hopefully, like I said, we're having this discussion for absolutely no fucking reason.
No reason.
Because Baker starts every game this season and neither of these guys see the field. So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see how it plays out. Now, Stank, something I can't get enough of, honestly, right now is Jacob Parrish. I mean, that kid is an absolute, it looks like we got ourselves a fucking star. Not a stud, an absolute star. And then the secondary, again, overall, they all played pretty damn well for the second year in a row. We'll get to the Jamel Dean discussion here in a second. But timely stops. We got pass breakups. You got the interceptions now 2 weeks in a row. Kindle Vildor, who sounds like a bad guy from one of those Dungeons and Dragons things that you'd like to watch.
I call him a Voldemort because he's like a villain.
Voldemort.
Like, I'm a huge fan of villains, right? And this guy's got the name. He's out there stealing balls away from people. A lot of hands-on balls this preseason as it relates to the secondary. But this guy looks like he's making this fucking team, Stank, which, again, is huge because we haven't even seen Benjamin Morrison yet. So I don't even know where he fits in at this point, how the hamstring affects things, how far along they're going to, bring him in terms of like having him ready to actually play by week 1, or if they're going to let him take his time. So the depth is kind of an issue there, but to see the secondary in terms of the corners coming out there and doing their fucking thing is definitely a good sight to see, because that was a problem we had last year with whoever came out there was going to be absolute dog shit. So I'm glad we see Vildor. Obviously, you got McCollum making plays. Jamel Dean, listen, if you look back and watch it, Tyke Smith fucked up on that long pass. He released him as if he had help. Tyke was too shallow, gets beat over the top. The next one is a weird, pass interference type play that I wasn't really thinking was pass interference. Nonetheless, Jamel Dean has his ups and downs. We know who he is. But with the play of Jacob Parrish, Stank, Jamel Dean's got to fucking keep his ass rolling, right? He's got to know he's right behind him. And the only thing probably keeping him from actually taking his job at this point is how good that kid is in the slot, in the nickel, to where they're like, man, we got a really good trio. If Benjamin Morris comes back, who knows how that all plays out. But
I was going to say, I think probably more of a reality that Benjamin Morrison's injury has
keeping his job at this
Dean
point
in the starting role, because everything coming out of camp was how good Benjamin looked, how polished he looked.
But Jamel Dean's had a good camp. He's had a really good camp. He had a day where he had three hands-on balls moments, right? And so,
and he's just one of Todd Bowles' guys, isn't he? Yeah. I just feel like Todd looks at him like a son. Gives him some additional love. I mean, this guy won a Super Bowl for us. He is easily probably the one most hated guys on this roster for really no reason. Good dude ultimately, but yeah, I mean, I think we're all looking for his replacement at some point. I
don't think he's here beyond this year, but
no, I don't think so either.
Even if he loses his job, to have a guy like that be a depth piece, a backup, a guy who's played in a Super Bowl, a guy who's had really good moments at times, a guy who's considered by PFF at stretches at times to be one of the top 10 corners in the league, and he's shown he has that stuff in him. How focused is he? How seriously does he take moments all the time? All that comes into play. Maturity, consistency, up and down, injuries, all that stuff obviously is going to eventually come to the surface. But right now, it's still his job to lose. Yeah. But we'll see how that may change. Voldemort, is that what you call him?
Voldemort, yeah.
Voldemort might start knocking on that spot too if you have a couple of bad games to start the season, or if you're 0-2 and it looks like Jamel Dean just not cutting it anymore. But other than that, I still think the secondary has all of a sudden now become almost, I don't want to say strength, but they've shorted up in terms of, man, I don't feel as bad now in terms of the drop-off. Like, we talked about the drop-off from the edge. Yeah. But the drop-off from, starters to secondary to the second guys, even to the third guys, not uncomfortable anymore. Not that uncomfortable. And I took another L on Saturday night, Stank.
You did.
I took another L on Saturday night. Okay.
Happens.
And I owned it, right? I owned it, and I still don't think he's a great football player. Okay? Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, Merriweather came up in a moment where we've all of a sudden got issues with injuries across everybody who plays safety other than Tyke Smith. We had a guy, Merriweather, has been here 3 years now. He does know the system. He got playing time last year when it mattered. And I think Todd Bowles likes him. He's definitely making the team. And it's good to see him come out there and have a pretty damn good game. And you know what? That helps me feel a little bit better now about him having to go out there. But like I told you earlier today, if he's playing in any meaningful game, extended minutes, we have a fucking problem. No offense to Kayvon Merriweather, but that's just the reality of it, okay? We can't have 5 starting safeties on this team. So it is what it is. But yeah, if he's playing anything that matters, we got problems.
Yeah, you can be nice. The guy, obviously, you didn't at him. You didn't intend for him to read the comment.
Did not.
You
No.
don't want to hurt guys' feelings, but sorry, you are absolutely at the bottom of the roster, especially in your room. And so, that's for a reason. The guy needs more experience. He's fresh. He looked decent at times last year, but not starter quality yet. Maybe he develops into that guy. Who knows? But it's not like we're intentionally reaching out to rip the kid. That room, honestly, is behind Izzy now. It's kind of up for grabs, right? Who's gonna have I don't know. Shiloh to me just doesn't look like it like he deserves to start yet. Ultimately, and I feel like he's going to end up on the practice squad potentially.
Yeah, I mean,
don't see him anywhere.
He looks like his practice squad safety. I mean, I don't even think he looks like he's a starter as a special teams gunner type guy. He just, I might be wrong, but it feels like he shies away from contact at times when it's not his tackle to be made, like when there's a pile. And like I said last week, it just feels like if it's not the easy or obvious one-on-one type play, he's not really making a play. He was largely invisible in week 2 of the preseason, right? We gave him kind of a chalked off week 1 as getting his feet wet, adjusting to the speed of the game, that whole thing. He was nowhere to be found in week 2 in a scenario where J.J. Roberts is down and gone for the season, Stank. A guy who's kind of fighting with him for the job because of his versatility. And then you got Izzy and now who's got an injury. You got Antoine Winfield who couldn't play. They're keeping him ready for week 1. So you have a moment there. You have a chance to shine. You go out there and make some plays, some splash plays. Not difficult to make splash plays in the preseason against third-string guys. You've seen tons of dudes do that and not make the team. So for you to not do that, that's a fucking tough pill to swallow. The only reason he's still even in this conversation is because of those damn injuries, man.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a weird room.
Rashad Wisdom's a guy that his name keeps coming up too. So it's not a guarantee he even makes the team. I think it's definitely more likely at this point, though, because of the injuries, like you said.
Yeah, and Wisdom is versatile.
We did sign a new safety today too. My fault.
Yeah.
We did sign a brand new safety, Will Brooks from Tennessee.
Yeah, they need guys to play at this point for that third preseason game. I don't imagine they're going to be trotting anybody they consider a starter out in week 3 of the preseason. But back to the corners, I think have become the strength now all of a sudden of the secondary. I'm just kind of hoping that all these guys like Izzy and Antoine, Tyke, they're all, should be ready by week 1, it feels like. And then just kind of got to hope that we don't. I think the thing that makes it feel pretty good, Stank, is that the guys we did sign and the guys that we do have still remaining are versatile. Like Wisdom, for instance, and even Shiloh to an extent. But we'll see how it plays out. And I'm excited to see Benjamin Morrison get back in there, right?
I am. Moving on to the juxtaposition of maybe starting to question how deep we are at a position. The backup offensive line absolutely got their asses handed to them in this game. Our offensive line in general just didn't look great. I felt like we were getting pushed around on both sides of the ball once the starters went out. When Vita and Cansey and them got out on that side of the ball, but specifically on the offensive line, our tackle depth. Our guard depth, it just wasn't good. We couldn't run the ball, couldn't pass protect. It was a shit show.
Yeah, it's funny you actually kind of jumped the gun somehow there. That offensive line, man. I don't want to make excuses because it's the preseason, so you're not doing too much actual game planning for the team you're playing. You're just kind of going through reps and grading guys and evaluating guys. We don't usually call that many offensive plays where we don't have guards and tackles moving and centers pulling and things like that. So we didn't see any of that stuff. So I try to kind of temper this, disappointment that I had in the offensive line. Even the starters didn't look very good run blocking, Stank. They just didn't look good. And that was against the Steelers who weren't even playing their top 2 defensive linemen in the game, right? And we just no push on the left side with Heck there. Ben Brenderson, he got his ass whooped on a rep, and I believe so did Heck. I also didn't see help to his side, so I'm curious if they're just kind of leaving him out there to see exactly what his limitations are and what his capabilities might be to kind of learn where the floor and the ceiling is with this kid. I don't think there's any surprise or secret that he's going to be helped the entire time Tristan is not in the game or on the field for the Bucs. Whether that's 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, we don't know yet. But he's definitely not going to be out there one-on-one. But the run blocking, the push in general, I believe Graham Barton got his ass whooped on a rep too.
Yeah.
It just didn't look, I don't know, it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel good when Bucky was running the ball. It looked like he was running for his life. It just felt like 2-3 years ago, man. And hopefully just because it's preseason and I'm being overcritical and I have a higher standard now, but it just didn't feel right. I didn't like it.
No, you know what? It was a good litmus test. Like, it's like playing the Ravens and the Steelers. You know what you're getting from those teams. They're always going to be solid up front. They're always going to have those guys. They invest almost exclusively their resources into defensive and offensive linemen, and it showed. It showed. Our depth could not match their depth whatsoever, and that exposed, I think, a lot of holes that that unit has, which is guys that are unproven, guys that are playing positions that they shouldn't be playing, like Michael Jordan playing tackle, and he's a guard, and he looked completely,
he's a shooting guard.
Right, he's a shooting guard, exactly. They're trying to play, play center and shit. He's just not good at that. Right, he's a natural scorer. What do you got him down there trying to block shots? He can't block.
Nah. The one thing I did like seeing, damn it, his name just kind of slipped. I don't know. I'm gonna call him Chewbacca.
Chewbacca, yeah.
Chewbacca looks like he's gonna be a good player one day. He just got a little bit of ways to go in terms of like just learning some stuff. I think he's just really raw. But they might have a guy there who could possibly come in, and I'd be curious to see how much they would trust Graham Barton out at left tackle with Klein at center after seeing what Klein could or couldn't do at center during the preseason so far. But because they've tried that so far, that combo in practice a few times as like a backup plan in case Heck really doesn't know what the fuck's going on out there in the regular season. But I don't know, man. It just in moments like this, I miss good old Bob Hennessy. I just miss him.
Yeah, miss Bob, miss Tristan. I don't know. It wasn't a good showing after last week, which was a great showing. We fucking ran the ball down Titans' throat, but they were the worst team in football for a reason. They couldn't stop a damn thing. We'll have to kind of see what the reality of things look like this week. Hopefully our starting lines get a little bit more play in there. I don't know. I'm not a big fan, Sammer, of not playing your starters. I'm not. I think these guys need some fucking. I
think the big boys do.
I
think you need to play the big boys for continuity.
I think everybody should play,
shaking off some of that rust. I think like the thing is to get to week 1 and then flip that switch and all of a sudden go out there as a unit of 5 guys and start to go kick some ass together. I feel like you gotta kind of get that storm built up, right? You can't just snap your fingers. You got a fucking hurricane or a dark cloud, right? You got to build that storm up a little bit.
Yeah, but they've been doing it in joint practices, and that's all we see. I don't believe that. I don't buy
that's
that
not
shit.
through the whistle. Like I need these guys kicking ass for an entire half together as a unit. Put Kyle Trask back there, whatever. Keep the guys, they're throwing the ball, getting paid the big bucks. Keep that guy safe. Okay, keep Baker in a bubble wrap chest. Okay, keep him away from everybody. That chest they carry the Stanley Cup in, and they wheel it out onto the ice, and it's just ridiculously safe. We need to put Baker in that, keep him protected, but roll out the 5 offensive linemen. It's just crazy to see. And this is not to discount Tristan Wirfs, obviously stink, but you could see his fucking value. Like I knew how valuable he was, but damn, like it looks like he affects not just his position and not just Ben's position, but even Graham Barton's position to an extent. That's 3 spots affected by his absence, and I'm curious to see how they're going to actually, game plan for this, because it might not just be helping Heck. It might be Ben getting his ass whooped at that point. And then it might be Graham having to try to overcompensate for that and then getting his ass kicked. Like, I don't know, man. I have this uneasy feeling that if Tristan isn't back by week 2, or maybe if they're 0-2, that Tristan's all of a sudden going to be trying out there week 3, whether he's ready or not.
Yeah, that's a potential, reality. Honestly, we could struggle up front, and we'll have to go. It's going to put pressure on, our Grizzard to figure out a way to protect that side of the ball. We have enough weapons to where it shouldn't matter. We should be able to still, be consistent with running the fuck. Izzy, stop these fucking bots.
I'm working on it right now. They won't stop coming up.
The fuck do we not pay you for, bro? God damn,
bro.
Do you not?
You're out here not earning our hard-earned money. Look, there they go. More fucking bots.
Bro,
just letting this happen. Just letting this happen. Not on. Just letting this happen. Not on my dime, dude. Stop fucking talking. Stop fucking talking. Just get it done.
Yeah, listen. All you need to worry about right now is your bot.
Get rid of the bots. All right.
You focus that one good eye on the bots the entire.
Do your best. Just like really focus it. Just do your best. Just lean up in. You know what I'm gonna buy you? I'm gonna buy you a monocle. That's what I'm buying you for your birthday. I'm buying you a fucking monocle. All right.
Bro, you could rock a mean ass monocle, bro.
Yeah. But I want you to wear it on the lazy eye. I'm gonna get you a big ass one, so that magnifies the fuck out of that lazy ass eye. Get your shit right.
I think it's a great idea.
This is the worst possible night for you to be slipping, Izzy, because the poll. Will Sam or fire someone tonight live on air? Okay.
Oh, I'm watching it right now, and sadly,
are you watching it? You should be watching the bots. Okay.
That's why
you should be watching the bots. That's the problem.
Dude, every time I get rid of one set of bots, another one pops up immediately.
That's how
I'm working
work,
overtime.
That's how bots work.
Yeah. Get just fucking get your job done. Okay. Now, while that's happening,
do you have like a hidden nuke?
I will remind you guys, hit that like button, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button, and of course. To all of you who listen out there or prefer to listen or drive trucks and hate watching our beautiful faces, you know what? You could listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. I mean, you could listen to us on Pornhub. If we're on Pornhub, somebody out there, let us know. And then we'll say Pornhub from here on out. If you can listen to us on Pornhub.
There's some of our content has to be on Pornhub. Listen, I want to talk to exclusively the truck drivers out there. Because I feel like that's our base right there. Just big old greasy dudes. Finger in their belly button, out on the open roads of this beautiful country, right? And they're just consuming our content 24/7. Right. So I want to just give a big thank you to you guys, for at least in the next 6 months until your jobs are all taken by automation. Yeah, exactly. Why do you think our brother Latte's out here? Jobs being taken right now. He's out there fighting bots. Bots are the theme of this fucking show.
He's literally going out every night and fighting. He's like dismantling the Amazon semi trucks that come to life at night.
Yep.
They charge all day and then they start fucking delivering packages, okay, on their own without a human. So, yeah, those days are numbered, UPS drivers. And eventually you'll be able to sit at home with nothing in your fridge and no money in your bank account and watch us on TV, okay? Because this show is free to watch. Whether you want, I mean, your internet's probably not free, but for now, and that's also for now. But you can also go to loosecannonslive.com and watch every single episode there. Listen to every episode there. And of course, like I told you guys at the top of the show, there's a fucking voicemail button on the website now. You click it and it lets you record directly from your phone, and it goes into an inbox that somebody goes through and finds out if you're even worthy of being listened to by others on this show. So obviously, you can't just leave whatever the fuck you want. You gotta make it worthy, okay? You gotta make it worthy. I believe Izzy's job is to sift through that inbox and find things that are worth it. But there will be your moment to shine every week from here on out. Well, when the season kicks off on Fan Friday, which may or may not be hosted by the interns only.
Whoa.
We don't know yet. We don't know. It might just be Izzy's lazy eye and Vixen's hot ass just sitting on a fucking camera talking to you guys. And playing your voicemail.
Jonas just left a voicemail. As soon as you said, just breathing heavy into the fucking phone.
Is anybody listening to this?
Yeah. That voicemail will be deleted automatically.
Yep. All right, Stank. We got one more topic we still got to knock out. And those were who the winners and the losers of the night on Saturday. So I'll start with you, okay?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I steal your thunder if I don't let you go first. And then you're that, that tug on shirt kid who's stuck at the front of the class with nothing else to add at the end of the group project who gets an F, right? Because you didn't contribute anything. So I'm gonna let you go first. Give me your winners. Give me your winners for that.
I got winners were young guys for me. Okay, I'm gonna give Tez is one of my winners, even though he muffed his opportunity. All right, greatest term in all of sports.
Yeah, I mean, for a Johnson to not know its way around the muff, I mean, I feel like it goes hand in hand, right?
It goes hand in hand.
It does.
It goes hand in muff. All right, and he muffed
fist
it.
in hand.
He muffed it. For some reason, he got a little weary of fielding, balls for a little while, but he showed me enough to show that he belongs. He's a weapon. He's going to make this fucking football team. So I like Tez, as you guys know. His partner in crime, Emeka Ibuka.
That's your winner.
He's a winner. He's a winner, bro.
It's obvious.
He's a winner.
That's
He's
an obvious
a winner.
one, yeah.
He just looks like a fucking professional out there. It just looks like he belongs here. Like he's been here forever. So Emeka, and then on the defensive side of the ball,
How many you giving?
Jacob Parrish. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
You said it earlier. We don't need to continue to shower that guy with love. Hands on balls, contested catches, up in people's fucking shit. Okay. That guy is up in people's shit. And that's what you want. So Jacob, you get all the glory and all the love. And then Vildemort. Listen, you weren't on my radar. Now you are, sir. So kudos to you for getting your hands on balls.
Yeah. And you know what? Listen, this is one of my winners for the night is a guy that we've given a lot of fucking hell to, honestly. But how about Sterling Shepard, man? I mean,
I thought you were going somewhere else, bro.
I mean, he fucking came up, man. He came up clutch. It's been a weird wide receiver discussion all offseason, and his name hasn't come up for some reason, even though Baker wants him there, right?
Yeah,
You got all the shit going on with Tez, and you got, does Trey Palmer make the team, and what's going on with that? Do you trade him? Do you hide him? Do you put him on the pup if he's still injured? All that shit. And no one's been like, where's about Sterling Shepard? We give him a lot of fucking problems all the damn time. Every time he gets in the way, it seems like. But he came up. He came up pretty clutch. You know who else? And I fucking can't believe I'm about to do this. I'm about to show some love to a fucking punter. Okay?
Oh, dicks on balls.
That dude is a fucking weapon. I mean, to average 50 yards a punt. What? To have a guy that could flip field position, which the game is field position, Stank. To just be able to almost feel like you could guarantee the opposing team's not starting outside of their 40 every single time that guy punts the ball. That's a big one. And yeah, I thought I was going to go Kayvon Merriweather. I'm not. Because you know what? I'm not doing that, right? Yeah, he did okay. But yeah, I'm standing behind my tweet, okay? If you're playing big minutes, no thanks. No fucking thanks.
I'm not ready to shower.
Dick's on?
Dick's on, dude. I'm not ready to shower him, bro. I listen, you can show praise, all right? He's a shower out there right now. But can he grow into an every week performer? That's what I need to know. It's easy to do it when the pressure's not on, right? It's easy. When you have no pressure, you can perform. But as soon as you're like, the people are watching, right?
Can't do it with an audience.
Right, exactly. It's everything. The opportunity's laying there right in front of you, and you're just sweating, and you're looking at it, and you're like, "Hey, this is cool."
Knees weak,
palms sweaty,
sweaty, yeah,
all that, and then you got to go out there and perform. Or are you going to rise to the occasion, Dixon?
When it matters, will your dicks be on? Will your dicks be on? That's the biggest question, right? So while I did shower him with praise and give him a winner of the night, Stank. Dick's on. You got to still prove to us that you could be that guy long term, right? Yeah. How long can you go, right? It's not always about how hard you can go. It's also about how long you can go, right? Stamina matters in this game. So, don't want to shoot that low too early. I'm actually a little bit concerned that you're shooting it this early, I'm being honest. Yeah. Why are you playing so well in the preseason? You should be saving this, right? You should be kind of slowly building it up. You want to edge into the final climax around week 9, right? Week 10, maybe.
This is
shooting
premature.
Willy-nilly premature punting? I mean, what are we talking about? Yeah. Dick's on. Premature punting? ? Should have been the headline for tonight's show. I don't know about that.
I don't know either. No, right? I really thought you were going to give Greg Gaines.
No, never. No way. Absolutely never.
One tackle he had, dude.
He fell into it. No thanks. That will never give.
Greg Gaines.
How about the Rams fans who are somehow into my mentions about Greg Gaines over the weekend? Y'all can have him. I mean, if I could fucking carry his ass to you, I fucking would.
No, what was even worse was Rondé Barber.
Took
time out to shower the guy with love and say, this guy, you could see his tape and he's an integral part of the rotation.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No.
Wait, Rondé showered him with love?
I didn't say anything because I respect Rondé. So I'm letting you kind of be one of those things where, you just kind of let it go.
I
just
used
not
to
worth it.
respect him until he embarrassed me on the golf course. All right.
I mean, you did that to yourself. You did that to yourself.
No, because the stick got in the way, and then he should have waited for me to pick the ball up so I could really deliver a strike.
Somebody said anybody could go behind this offensive line with those weapons and deliver. Anybody could throw the ball, and they said even Stank. And then I sent them that video, and they didn't respond to me after that. I think they unfollowed me.
Then Rondé walks over to us on the golf course and just, says that was fucking embarrassing. Okay. And I didn't appreciate it. I felt like at that moment, he could see I was wounded, that he should have picked me up. But instead, he's just like everybody else, and he wanted to throw some more gas on the fire. So, Rondé, that was your first strike. The second strike, giving Greg Gaines love, bro. Unacceptable. Strike 2.
Unacceptable. Losers of the night, Stank. We got to give losers of the night, all right? And you know what? Raheem Jarrett. Listen. Played some meaningful minutes over the last couple of years for us, okay? Where's number 18, which for whatever reason I feel like is a number I root for inherently as a wide receiver on this team? Back to the Sammy Strouder days, okay? I don't know why, but if you have 18 and you're a wide receiver, I feel like I should root for you. But I'm sorry, Raheem Jarrett, it looks like it's the end of the line, buddy. I don't think this guy's making the team, which is crazy to say considering Cameron Johnson, Trey Palmer, even Tez Johnson to an extent have not played a lot of time in the preseason or in camp. And yet here we are with, Sammy Strouder 2.0. Not making plays.
He's not making the team. I just can't see it. I think he knows that too. And he's not. Like, unfortunately, he's been replaced. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still going out there putting tape on for other teams, right? Everyone's evaluating everyone, right? The Steelers are watching that, thinking, do we have a wide receiver 6 buried on this team's practice squad or cut list that we could possibly add on one day? Who knows? Another loser of the
so
night.
Many other names. There's Naughty Miller. There's Green. There's guys that
and
that
dudes.
You can argue deserve it more. And Rakim, even though he's been a good performer when he's had the opportunity in the preseason, I don't know. I think he's definitely
the other one too that we did forget about, man, was for the winners list. I forgot to mention Nick Action Jackson. Okay, yeah. 2 weeks in a row now, coming up with a sack.
The linebackers in general. What, Antonio Greer Jr. had a fucking exactly.
Pick. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Deion Jones played well.
We didn't really show. You know what? Winners of the night. Let's add that back. One more. Inside linebackers. Almost all of them. All right. Servatier Dennis looks like if we get a healthy version of him the entire year with the mix of Greer with Action Jackson, who's 100% making this fucking team, by the way, and he's gonna fucking get some minutes with the way he's playing. Like we might have some secret strength in that position group that we weren't expecting, especially after they didn't draft guys in that spot. Went after a couple undrafted dudes, but yeah, going backwards a little bit in our discussion. Winners of the night, inside linebacker crew for sure, for sure. Another loser of the night, Kyle Trask.
Oh yeah,
Kyle Trask. Dude, I mean, 19 yards, dude.
He was what? Hey, Kyle.
3 for 8, 3 for 9, 19 yards.
Stunk, sir. That was bad.
Just bad. Just no zip. No, like it didn't look like he even wanted to be out there. I mean, was he pouting, Stink? Did he pout? Was he pouting? Was he unhappy about even playing behind those guys?
I think so. I think he expected that after his performance last week, he was on a high, and maybe he needed this. Okay. Maybe this is, maybe Kyle's ego was too big this week. And fucking Bowles saw that shit. Kyle was walking through the fucking locker room, eyeballing motherfuckers, and talking shit. And like, Baker, you're a pussy. Why aren't you playing in the preseason? That's kind of what I heard through the grapevine.
And then they try him out there and they tell him, hey, by the way, Teddy's getting the start. And he just started foot stomping from that moment forward. I mean, he was foot stomping in the huddle, if you look back.
Yeah, and we're going to put a guy that's never played tackle before in the NFL out there to protect your blind side immediately. So how about them apples, Kyle? And Kyle just got served a little bit of humble pie. I think that's like, mission accomplished, Todd. You did your job because Kyle looked shaken and stirred out there. So he definitely deserves. He should have been number 1 on the list.
Yeah, he should have. You're right.
That was terrible.
You know what? You know who else was the loser of the night for me, man? And I hate to say this because I don't think it's entirely his fault, and I don't think he's going to play like this throughout the season because he does have some fire on his ass right now. But you got to put Jamel Dean in there, man. Not a good night for Jamel Dean. Not a good night for the Jamel Dean supporters. You kind of put me in that group. I do tend to root for the kid, but I mean, Jacob Parrish is right there, man. So, you gotta get your shit together. You got, I even like, Hall's supposed to be a guy that makes his team, in my opinion. And I do like when he does play. He's a little bit longer, typical Todd Bowles type guy. And of course, you got Benjamin Morrison. So when that guy comes back, how long of a leash does Jamel Dean actually have, considering he's not the future of this team in that spot? And I guess you could add the O-line in there, Stank. The O-line just stunk it up.
Yeah, we talked about the O-line.
Yeah,
I'm going to throw a couple names in there. I'm going to put Charlie Heck on there. Listen, bro, I don't want to see any of that out of you. Okay, I don't want to see any of that. Maybe you play better the rest of the game. I don't go through and YouTube scout games and watch all 22s. So I'll take the word of the guys who do that to say that you end up having a solid performance for the rest of the night. I really wasn't focusing on you, but don't do that. Unacceptable. Can't happen ever, and do better. So you got to be on that list. I'm gonna go with. We didn't talk about Braswell. He deserved to be a winner this week. Braswell absolutely stood the fuck up.
Yeah,
after being the one who was under the bus last week, everybody's questioning his performance. Is he a bust? Does he deserve to be here? Braswell is another guy you could put at the top of that list. But everybody else in that second rotation, all of those guys, no pass rush. No push up the middle. Watts, Ramirez, like all those guys. Like, where the fuck are you guys? You're playing against second, third, fourth string guys. You've been here for years now. Like, you should be doing something. The green and fucking Gaines and all the other guys in the middle, but it doesn't inspire any confidence in me because I don't see talent. I just see Jags. I just see guys out there.
Yeah, I mean, Rondé said it. He said these guys have been guys historically that do well in preseason games, but when they get action in real life NFL games, they don't do anything. And I think that's what they are. That's all they are. They're not going to be. And so that drop off from Yaya and Reddick to Anthony Nelson, who didn't play in that game because of I think a late injury during the week. He should be okay. Anthony Nelson and Chris Braswell, these guys got to have to play really, really well. And they're going to have to also stay healthy, those two guys, because, I don't want to see who the fuck they're going to trot out otherwise, unless they have some fucking Trey Hendrickson trade surprise that they haven't whipped out yet, which might still happen. Who knows? His value apparently is plummeting now. So if, Bengals don't have much to stand on. So you never know. But outside of that hypothetical Stank, yeah, I mean, we're going to lean heavily on Anthony Nelson and Chris Braswell, or figure out a way to keep the other dudes on the field longer, which I'm hoping is what we're going to try to do. Try to keep those guys out there. Maybe mix in the second guys a little bit with Vita and Cansey together. Hopefully, still in there to maybe I can't see the hockey shift shit again. I'll fucking lose my mind.
No,
especially with Chris Braswell.
Something has changed, right? We can all look at this preseason. You know that Todd Bowles has turned it up. I don't think they're going to play that passive style, sit back, play underneath, don't get bait deep. Play all this off coverage shit. I think Todd realizes, man, through attrition, he's wearing these guys down, and we just don't have the depth to play a bench. We don't have a deep bench. So go into your rotations. We've been injury bitten, right? The snake bitten, whatever you want to call it, especially in the secondary, at other positions too. I think Todd realizes that. So I hope he does throw caution to the wind a whole lot more. And you can see it's fruited itself here in the preseason. We've got fucking turnovers left and right.
Hands on balls.
We won the game with a fucking turnover. Hands on balls all over the place. So that will help us stay off the field, hopefully, help us see less of the rotational guys. And maybe this defense can start adding to the fucking scoreboard a little bit and putting this offense on short fields and, doing it during the regular seasons.
Yeah, what we need to do? We need to hammer that point home, just like solidifying it, right? And I think the way to do it, Stank, is we need to send hands-on balls T-shirts to all the guys in the locker room in the secondary. Yeah. Every corner and safety will be receiving hands-on balls T-shirts, okay? We're making it happen.
It's in their head.
It has to be.
It's in their head, and maybe it should be on their chest. Right? Maybe they need to drive it. Listen, if you watch Zion's press conference after the game, he said hands on balls 6 or 7 times. I mean,
he knows. Yeah, he gets it. He watches the show. That's one. Okay. So I think it should be hands on balls, something they could wear to the grocery store, right? Hands on balls and just kind of the gloves like this right here, right? Just give them the bam. Hands on balls, right? And I think that's and I want them to wear this out, right? Go pick up your kid, Zion. Go pick up your son at from school on a Tuesday afternoon with your hands on balls t-shirt, okay? And just make sure everybody in the community around you knows what you're focusing on, and that's hands on balls, because that's the theme. That's the theme this year.
Sam, remember the kid in high school who fumbled, and then the coach made him carry the football around the entire next week until the next game? It sends a message. And maybe that's what we need. We need to have a message sent. So it's all these guys think about. When they close their eyes at night, hands, balls, right?
That's all they're thinking about. Right?
When they open their eyes up, hands.
What we need to do is down Dale Mabry. I'm gonna have to just go in and just get three billboards in a row and just have it say hands on balls as they're driving, right? And then the other way, hands on ball. Everywhere they go, hands on balls. I'm gonna start running YouTube commercials, right? Hands on balls. I want these guys to think that they're being subliminally messaged to death, and then all they're thinking by the time they get to fucking Sundays is hands on balls, hands on balls, hands on balls, hands on balls, hands on balls.
Do you know
that's all they're doing, right?
Do you know a good skywriter? You know, like one of the planes that writes shit.
Oh, I got a guy for everything. I got an airplane smoke guy.
Yeah, I mean, we need to do that like right over
hands on balls over the games,
right in the sky, right over the practice field. Okay,
we need to do it during the game when they do that other flyover, getting in the way. Right, we're gonna have getting in the way, just hands on balls. These guys shoot, and the fucking fighter jets fly right through there, or the bomber, or whatever the fuck they end up using that day. Just destroying our hands on balls clouds. But you know what? That works. That works. And the message will be sent at that point. Because you know all the players
How quickly can we change the hashtag from "We Are the Crew" to "Hands on Balls"?
I mean, I'm using hands on balls. I'm using hands on balls all year long. I'll put a little pirate flag behind it, it'll look official. Everyone be like, "God damn, dude, these fuckers changed the hashtag. It'd be amazing." It should be hands on balls. It should be on the fucking. It should be the hashtag you see as you're walking up to Raymond James Stadium, right? Just hands on balls. It's where it says Buccaneers and all that shit. They should add it to Ring of Honor. The Ring of Honor section with the names. Throw in the hands on balls up there. And no one will even notice it, right? Until like week 7 or 8. Like, do you guys notice there's hands on balls in the fucking Ring of Honor? That's how much it should matter to these fucking guys. I'm with you.
Yeah, Stan. You remember the stomp stomp clap, the "We Will Rock You"?
Yeah.
It's just it's hands on balls. You know,
hands
clap,
on
clap,
balls. Yeah.
Stomp.
Hey,
hands on balls.
Week 3, you and I are starting that. Week 3, you and I are starting it. We're doing it.
Oh my God.
You heard it here first, because trust me, for some reason, like we are able to get our shit to spread. Right. If you think it's ducky, and Bucky, that was us. We, I'm going to take credit for that fucking, that chant that we started in our section. And ultimately I willed that duck to land on the field, and I'm going to take credit for the entire duck experience.
You and I saw that duck the moment it entered the stratosphere.
The moment it got into the stadium, I have it on video. I recorded the entire thing,
the whole thing.
And I was like, it's going to land on the field. And it did. Way the fuck out. That duck.
And then it blocked a punt.
It did, bro. It was a magical duck. Outside of Mike Evans' 1,000-yard catch last year, that was the number 2 moment of the season for me.
You know what we should do? I should donate a new sale. You know how the Bucs have all those different sales on there. I don't know which sale they call what. We need a hands-on ball sale. That's what we need, right in the middle.
I thought you were going to say the duck deserved one of the panels on the stadium instead of like having Mike Evans and fucking,
he deserves to be in the Ring of Honor. Should be in the Ring of Honor.
Oh, what? He should absolutely be in the Ring of Honor.
And just write the duck, just the duck, and everyone will just know it. And if you don't fucking know it, you can go look it up on YouTube millions of years from now, right? And they'll be like, I remember that guy. I was there. You tell your grandkids, I remember the day that the Buccaneers blocked the punt, courtesy of a duck.
Courtesy of the duck.
Courtesy of the fucking duck, man. That was great. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Great fucking moment.
Yeah.
Sam, are you going to this game? You going to the game Saturday?
Hey, listen, before I forget though, speaking of t-shirts, give a special shout out to Cody Mock's uncle, Ben Mock. Okay. We put out the O-line lineup t-shirts. Remember the old school Biggie shirts, Stank, back in the day where it'd say Biggie and Tupac and Nas and whatever. We have a handful of shirts like that for the offensive studs and the defensive studs. And Ben suggested we do that for the offensive linemen, right? So I did. I threw out a couple of them, and one in white text, black shirt, another one that's red text, black shirt. And dude, holy shit, I wish he would have told me ahead of time. Guy ends up ordering 32 fucking shirts of that for the entire Mock family. What game they're going to wear to, who knows? But you guys, hey, Ben, you got to get me a photo of that, right? Got to see.
And Ben, let us ship you like 10 more so we can get them to the team. Or we can just give them the latte to give them to the guys too. So one way or the other, we need to get those to the guys.
Yeah, dude, that was pretty damn epic to see that go through. It was pretty damn cool. So if you guys want some of your own, go to loosecannonsmerch.com. There's a ton of cool shit on there, including the now famous Tampa Cuban shirt, right? The one that's right the one that's on Stank right now. Okay, he's wearing it right now. He's got forearms somehow. I'm not sure how he's doing that, but yeah, this oh shit. Moved everybody.
The earthquake.
This bad boy right here, available in black and white, right? That's a Tampa Cuban. For those of you who don't know, you can't just make a Cuban the same as in Miami as you do in Tampa, all right? Tampa one is done a special way. It does come scent free as it relates to the armpits. But yeah, check that out. That's loosecannonsmerch.com. Stank, unless you have some final closing words, I believe I'm going to give it over to intern Izzy to close out the show. Intern Izzy, let people know where they can get more of us.
You can head over to loosecannonslive.com for every episode that we have given to you people here on YouTube. Every past episode that you may have missed, or even the new ones, the future ones that are going to be coming out. Head to loosecannonslive.com. These freaking bots.
There's no way to watch future episodes, guys. I don't know what he's talking about when he says future episodes.
Give me a sec. Sorry.
There are no future episodes on the website, but also do not forget on the website, we also have access to our free Bucs community Discord. Okay. Amazing fun shit that goes down in there. And of course, if you want to be a member of the exclusive Cannon Cartel, I believe it's $3 a month, and you get access to special behind the scenes stuff. You get some cool videos before anybody else gets them. You also get a free Cannon Cartel t-shirt, courtesy of Stank. He's actually making every single one of them by hand, okay? Just to make sure that you get a little scent of Stank in it. And I believe
I'm so tired right now.
Aren't you stamping each of them with your foot?
I'm doing an absolutely custom stamped shirt. Listen, there's limited run, guys. Limited run. If you want a custom foot stamp shirt, you log on to that fucking website right now.
Here he is.
It's limited, all right? What I'm telling you, limited means there's not going to be that many, all right? Because I only got so many stomps in me. So get there.
Yeah, you're getting old. You're getting old. You're getting old, right?
Yeah, I'm getting old, bro.
Like you used to.
Getting old. My sciatica, dude, has just been a fucking problem lately. And I only got so many stomps in me. I got so many anything in me, honestly.
Yeah.
So
How many shirts can we expect out of you?
And for those of you out there, the people who are already in the Cannon Cartel and have wanted to play, we have our exclusive Cannon Cartel member fantasy football leagues getting set up right now. 2 leagues. That's how many people we have. We have 2 leagues getting ready to roll out where you get to play against us. Okay. We also have some couple free leagues for everybody else who's in the regular Discord channel. You can join in and get on that. We'll run as many of those as you guys want. But the one that matters is the one with the big prizes, which is the Cannon Cartel one. And that's the one you get to play against Stank and I in, and Poppy Latte, by the way. And intern Izzy, and intern Loose Cannon's Vixen, and even Loose Cannon's Leprechaun, who some of you know.
He's the commissioner this year, isn't he?
He's the commissioner.
Yes, he is.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've given him a lot of power in those fantasy football leagues. So if you guys, overstep the line, I've given him pretty good amount of power. Yeah, I mean, he can probably take care of your family.
You don't want to piss off a leprechaun, bro.
No, you don't.
You don't want to do it, dude.
You don't.
Especially not one with the beard that reminds you of damn, I just blanked out. ZZ Top. He's got the ZZ Top beard, right? A leprechaun with a ZZ Top beard.
He's got a magical beard.
That's pretty
I won't tell him to his face, but he's got a pretty magical beard.
Yeah, I mean, not only is he a leprechaun, but he's also, he's a Bucs fan, and so it's a big deal. And he's Loose Cannon's leprechaun. But anyway,
and he's the father to my nephew, Lil Stank. Shout out to you, Lil Stank, wherever you are.
Shout out, Lil Stank. All right, make sure you guys head over to loosecannonslive.com if you missed an episode. If not, show us some love. And if you do have the ability to give us a rating on any of those audio platforms, do it, and I'll give you a high five, or maybe shake your hand or something like that, or maybe just take a picture of you. I just kind of don't want you to touch me, really, if I'm being honest.
We'll send you a high five through the mail.
There you go.
High five through the mail.
Nailed it.
One.
And I think we should do a show on Thursday night, Stank. I think we need to start getting ourselves ready. All right, I'm doing a show by myself Thursday night, okay, to get you guys ready for the final 53-man roster scenario that's going to play out after the 3rd preseason game of the season, or of the preseason. Intern Izzy, You're 0 for like 5 now at this point, closing out the show.
Yeah, bro, this is a bad one.
Bro, dude, I was.
I don't know what to tell you.
These freaking bots were out of
You
nowhere.
got to learn to look forward. All right, you had it, and then your lazy eye looked
one
down.
Eye on the bot, one eye on the bots, bro.
On the
gave him
bots.
something to do.
Yeah, and then he
You
just
told me
fucking-
keep an eye out for the bots.
Yeah,
and
but
he's
when you're
like,
finally getting a chance to talk, right? You're supposed to
No.
focus. And
Bro,
then
he's like, no, you gave him a job. He's that's got that military focus. So he literally had one eye on the bots and one eye on the camera. Go back and look at the tape.
Thank
all
you.
right, well, nonetheless, we'll see you all in the Discord channels, fucking around in the Cannon Cartel channels, and of course on Twitter, where you guys should definitely follow Stank Bastard, myself, and maybe intern Izzy if if you feel like he's deserved or earned your follow. And nonetheless, we'll see you guys next. Go Bucs.
Bye.
It's kickoff, set it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall. That's when the season start. Bucs come